I paid Airbnb $930, and back in February, that was half of what I owed to them for a stay that I would be taking in July, for my mother for her 60th birthday. She has multiple sclerosis, and that makes traveling during the time of coronavirus very dangerous for her. So I tried to cancel that reservation and get my money back because I assumed that Airbnb would be doing the right thing and giving refunds to people who are impacted by coronavirus. Well, I was completely wrong. I have tried numerous times, gotten in touch with numerous people at Airbnb, and have been given the runaround back and forth. Oh, you should talk to your host. No, you have to talk to Airbnb, have to talk to your host. And I have gotten nowhere with Airbnb. And I just believe that Airbnb is being greedy, using unethical business practices, and being purposefully deceptive and unhelpful to their customers. Well, in February, I booked a stay at Airbnb through Airbnb in Florida, for my mom's 60th birthday. It's supposed to be like a special thing for her. Um, and we were going to take the whole family, and her brother and his family lives down there. So it was going to be a really special thing. And then the coronavirus came through, and that became an impossibility because her birthday's in July, and my mother actually has multiple sclerosis. So it makes traveling, I mean, it makes this virus more dangerous for her because she is immunocompromised. So I talked to her, asked her what she wanted to do about it. She said we should probably cancel. If if we couldn't cancel, then try to push it back later. So I thought, okay, I'll cancel with Airbnb. Surely they have a policy about this, that it's okay. I'm going to be able to get my money back. Well, I go over. They basically said I need to talk to the host. I called the host, which was Real Joy Vacations. I called them. They said I needed to talk to Airbnb. So I went back to Airbnb. I talked to someone at Airbnb named Margie online. It was like a little chat. And she said that she would try to negotiate a refund for me. I was like, okay, great. Well, when she finally got back to me, she said that the host said no, that they weren't going to be able to refund my money to me. Now, the problem with this is for me, I had talked to the host. They told me to talk to Airbnb, and they told me that Airbnb had my money. They told me that Airbnb had not transferred my money to them. The other problem with this is when I paid Airbnb the first time, I paid them $930.84. That was just about half of what the trip was supposed to cost. The other half was due May 2nd. Now, for anybody who knows, rent is due at the beginning of every month, right? So I had to cancel. I had to either cancel um, before May 2nd to keep the $830 that they were going to take, or I let them take that $830 and hope that they would, when it got closer to my trip, that they would refund my money because there's still travel restrictions. Now, we all know that June, July, August are very large travel months, right? Like everybody's traveling, everybody's going on vacation in the summertime. It seems to me that Airbnb, especially for the month of July in the US, because we have the 4th of July. So it seems to me that Airbnb is playing this game of, well, we'll cover COVID related cancellations up through, at first it was May 31st, which is ridiculous. And now it's through June 15th. But the thing about that is, if you paid for half, whenever you paid for it, then your second half would have been due now, right? For a trip that you're not going to take anymore, a trip that you know you're not going to be able to take by no fault of your own, by an actual act of God. So to me, it just seems very greedy. It seems very unethical for Airbnb to be taking money away from people when they need it most. So basically, I was told that either I could cancel and that would be that, or I could wait and see if their policy would cover me when it was closer to my trip. But to me, I know I'm not going on this trip, and I can't take the chance that you will take $830 from me now that I need now. And lots of other people need now because 30 million people have filed for unemployment in the last 6 weeks. It just, to me, seems unethical. They seem to be purposefully deceptive and unhelpful. So I ended up actually canceling my trip, so that they wouldn't take that $830 because I needed it to cover my own expenses, um, with the changes that have happened in the last few weeks here. I canceled my trip. I'm still in contact with Airbnb because I think this is wrong. I think that they need to be held accountable for what they are doing to not just me, but likely tens of thousands of people. I've been online on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram, and dozens of people have said the same thing that I've been saying. They're saying to me, that exact same thing happened to me. It just doesn't seem right to me. So I'm trying to get my money back. I am doing everything that I can possibly think of just to put pressure on them to, even if they're not going to give me my money back, to give other people their money back. I'm trying to reach out to them on Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. I wrote a letter. Reached out I filed a complaint with the Better Business Bureau. And I'm doing all the things that what little power I have, I'm trying to use. And I don't have very much power, which makes this even more frustrating because Airbnb has so much power and it would take so little of it to do the right thing. I would like to get my refund. And even if it's not the full refund, if they were able to give me $650 of the 930 that they already have, I would honestly be happy with that. I understand you have to give your host something, but how can your business survive if you don't take care of your guests as well? Right? You want to take care of only the hosts and not the guests. That doesn't make any sense to me. It's a poor business model. So I think that they should refund me a good percentage of my money. Right. Right now, with what I have been dealing with, I wouldn't use Airbnb simply on the fact that they seem to be an unethical company, right? I would urge people to look elsewhere. And maybe if you want to go on a trip, use a traditional hotel, because it seems to me that I know, because I actually worked in hotels for years. If I had booked a hotel, I wouldn't have had any trouble canceling this reservation. I wouldn't have had any, because one, they don't charge you generally until you check out. So Airbnb, I would say don't use it. It's not secure. I It shouldn't take this much for me to get my money back during a global pandemic, and when my cancellation was due to something that is completely out of my control. I live in New York City, so I can't travel anyway, right? It's pretty dangerous for me to be traveling to my family because I live in the epicenter. So it's just, I would say, do not use Airbnb. I will, and I honestly will urge most people for the rest of my life that to say, go with a different service. Don't use Airbnb, try something else.